The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good afternoon. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for the 6th day of December 2023. Just a note, we have to be off the air by 10 after 1 Eastern, so you got an hour and 10 minutes to do this. I have an appointment at 1:30 that I need to get ready for, so we are done at 1:10. Whether we finish or not, we'll just finish the game tomorrow. Today, we start Game 2 of the American League Championship Series from 1972. It's the Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. Oakland behind Catfish Hunter 3 hit the Tigers in Game 1. Tigers looking to get some offense, so they will trade Mickey Stanley for Jim Northrup in center field. They will go with Woody Fryman, who actually had a very good year, as they try to shut down the Oakland A's. The A's are going to go with Kenny Holtzman, a 19-game winner in 1972. So the A's, who had the better record in the regular season, don't have home field in this series. They win today, they've just won their 2 at home. The last 3 will be in Detroit. What they can do today is force the Tigers to win all 3. Tigers split, we're going at least 4. And so that's the setup for you. Woody Fryman versus Kenny Holtzman. The A's lead this series 1-0. As Retro Sports Network presents the 1972 American League Championship Series. Today, from Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California, it's the Oakland Athletics and the Detroit Tigers. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Good afternoon. Winter has arrived in Rochester, Big Dave is telling me. Snow is coming down. Good morning, Bernie. And how you doing, John? So Kenny Holtzman, as we wait for things to pop up, 27 years old, made 37 starts, 19-11, a 2.51 ERA, throws a Bugs Bunny fastball at 85, a fastball pitcher, and is a standard pitcher, 265 in a third innings, 232 hits, 23 home runs, 52 walks, and 134 strikeouts. Sounds like, although you see him with a Cubs hat there, that he really was an ideal match for this great, big ballpark. Lineup he'll face in Game 2. Tony Taylor leads off at second base. Billy Freehan, the catcher, bats second. Norm Cash, third at first. Al Kaline cleans up and right. So far, so good, John says. Hope you're not driving in bad weather. Jim Northrup gets the call in center field today. He'll bat fifth. Willie Horton in left will bat sixth. Aurelio Rodriguez at third will bat seventh. Someone said Eddie Brinkman got hurt in this series, and it's one of the reasons why Oakland won. He's at shortstop. He'll bat eighth. And Woody Fryman on the mound. 130 pitches will go ninth. Defensively for Oakland, Joe Rudy an 8 and an 8 in center. Reggie Jackson a 4 and an 8, or Rudy's an 8 and an 8 in left. Reggie Jackson a 4 and an 8 in center, and Angel Manuel a 6 and a 5 in right. Just flurries wherever John's driving. Sal Bando was a 7 at third. Bert Campaneris is a 6 at second, or short. Ted Kubiak an 8 at second. The A's went with defense over offense there today. Tim Cullen not in the lineup. It is Kubiak. He's used a ton of second baseman in 72. And Mike Epstein is a 4 at first. Gene Tennis behind the plate, a 5 and a 4. Dave Duncan was their primary catcher, but Tennis the better known because he had the magnificent series in 72. Holtzman a 7 on the mound with a .982 fielding percentage. Tony Taylor 0 for 4 in Game 1 with a strikeout against Catfish Hunter. And I forgot to change the Tigers the computer. So here we go. 65 degrees, clear skies, light winds here in Oakland as Game 2 starts with a ground ball to Kubiak. Ted has it and can't make the right play. Kubiak was actually on the grass when he threw it to first, and the Tigers start with a base hit. Here's Billy Freehan 0 for 3 with a walk in game number 1. We throw to first, and Taylor is back. Holtzman deals, and there's a ground ball to Epstein. Mike will take it to the bag himself. Tony goes to second. Freehan retired. One away for Norm Cash, who went 1 for 4, a single in game 1, and struck out 2. Ground ball to Campaneris. Taylor stays on the bag, throw to first, and Cash is retired. Taylor waited till Campaneris committed to first, and then with his good speed bolted for third. 2 out for K-Line. Al 0 for 4 in game 1. Holtzman has only thrown 4 pitches here in the first. Fly ball, left center. Reggie will make the catch, and that will retire the side. So Holtzman faces 4 batters on 7 pitches. That's pretty efficient. Half an inning in the books. Tigers nothing. Here comes Oakland. So Woody Fryman at 32, a journeyman pitcher. Don't know if he started his year or ended his year with the Tigers. Went 10-3, however, with a 2.06 ERA. He's 32. He started 14 games. Fastball at 86 and a fly ball pitcher. 113 2/3 innings, 93 hits, 6 homers, 31 walks, and 72 strikeouts. Oakland's lineup is this. Bert Campaneris at short will lead off. Sal Bando at third will bat second. Mike Epstein at first will go third. Reggie Jackson cleans up in center. Joe Rudy, who our sponsor, Chris Waterfield, personally met in 1975, is in left. He'll bat fifth. Gene Tennis behind the plate will go sixth. Mangual and right will go seventh. Ted Kubiak, who did not play in game 1, at second bats eighth. And Kenny Holtzman threw 7 pitches in his half of the first. Defensively for the Tigers, Horton is a 2 and a 5 in left. Northrup a 3 and a 5 in center. Al Kaline, the best of the bunch, a 6 and a 6 in right. Aurelio Rodriguez a 9 at third. Eddie Brinkman a 10 at short. Taylor a 5 at second. Cash a 4 at first. Freehan an 8 behind the plate with a 6 arm. And Fryman is a 3 on the mound with a .947 fielding percentage. Campy 1 for 4 in game 1. Struck out, stole a base, and reached third as Freehan threw it into center field. And produced the first run of the ball game for Oakland. Fryman starts game 2 with a walk. And you might as well just send him to second right away. Actually, no. He stole 52 on the year, but his save percentage here is 36%. So he will stay put. Here's Sal Bando, who doubled home Campaneris in the first. 1 for 3 yesterday with an RBI, a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. And that's a base hit in the left field. Horton cuts it off in the alley, and Campy's going to hold. So it wasn't hit very deep in the alley. Campaneris with jet blade speed on second, and Horton with an average arm, but Campy's chances of getting third were pretty low. So here's Epstein. Mike 1 for 2 in game 1. Lefty versus lefty. But that one hit, an RBI double. He walked twice and scored a run. Epstein. It's a fly ball in the right field. K-Line retreats. And now will make the catch. Campy tags and will go on K-Line's arm. And that throw is going to go all the way to third. Rodriguez might have a chance. Nope, he's safe. So Campy slides under the tag. Runners on the corners, 1 out for Reggie Jackson, who had a big day in game 1, 2 for 3, a double, and homered by those wide stairs right where his picture is at the moment. And then promptly got hit by a pitch by Mickey Lolich, and Reggie, being the showman that he is, threw a candy bar at him. How do you turn the volume down? Pickle Rick's on the other channel, my dear. Pitch to Reggie. There's a high fly ball, right center field, but Kaline should play it, and he does. Campaneris will tag and score without a throw, and the A's go up 1-0 here with 2 outs in the first. Here's Joe Rooney. Joe 1 for 4. Had the big 3-run homer yesterday. Or Monday if you're watching live on Twitch. Drove in 3. So Bando on first. 2 out, 1-0 Oakland. There's a line drive to left. Horton's there, and he will make the catch to retire the side. However, sac fly from Reggie. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. After 1-0 Oakland. Fryman, I'm being told by my resident Philly fan, was selected off of waivers from the Phillies. Wasn't 72 the year that Carlton won 27 games for a team that won 57? So Fryman, between the Phillies and the Tigers, threw 233 innings. Woody was a journeyman pitcher anyway. Here's Jim Northrup. We'll see if this move backfires. He pinch hit yesterday, 261, 8 homers, and 42 RBI, but it is a lefty-lefty matchup. Fly ball to right, Mangual, 1 out. So here's Horton, Willie, 1 for 3 yesterday, a single and a strikeout. 1-0 Oakland here in the second. Horton grounds this one past Campaneris and Bando for a single. So 1 out, second hit for the Tigers, and here's Aurelio Rodriguez, who went 1 for 3 in game 1 with a single. Holtzman deals. Popped up. Tennis doffs the mask behind the plate and will make the catch. 2 out. Here's Eddie Brinkman. Eddie, over from the Senators. Remember, 72 was their first year in Texas. Eddie 0 for 3. Wasn't making any money, John says. I don't know why the Phillies would have waived him. He got around. He pitched for a lot of different teams. Pitched a while for the Expos. He also pitched forever. Brinkman into left center. Reggie running over. Dodges the tough sky and makes the catch. Tigers get a hit, leave a runner on after an inning and a half. It is Oakland 1, Detroit 0. So here's tennis. Tenace, we would pronounce it today. Mangual and Ted Kubiak. Gene 0 for 3, a walk and a strikeout. You look at Tennis's numbers in 72. Again, he was a backup for Dave Duncan. And you wonder how someone who had 5 homers and 227 real-life at-bats hit 4 home runs in a World Series. Pitch to Tennis. That's into right center. Northrup will make the catch, and there's 1 out. This Tiger team is older, but this outfield was all part of their World Series win in 68. The infield is all new except for Cash, and of course Freehand, their legendary catcher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 9 defenders for the Tigers have World Series experience with Detroit. Mangual 1 for 4 in game 1, a single and a strikeout. Woody deals, and there's a fly ball right center. Northrup will make the catch, and there's 2 out. So here's Kubiak. Again, they went with defense over offense in Oakland in game 2. He hit 181 on the real year with 8 RBI. Only had 94 at-bats. I'm not kidding when I say Oakland had 18,000 second basemen. they would get Mike Andrews eventually. There are 3, 6, 9. There are 11 players of their 47 they used rated to play second base. There are 6 listed as second baseman. We went with Tim Cullen in game 1. You could go down Dahl Maxfield, Dick Green, Larry Brown, Ron Clark, Barney Martinez. I mean, that's just astounding. And yep, Reggie's rated as a center fielder. Just in case Gardner's still watching with the volume all the way down. Okay, we got our guest for Saturday night. John says, here's what you found. Fryman had an arthritic elbow and started the 72 with 2 shutouts. So the Phillies shopped him. They had no takers. So after he registered a 1.77 ERA in his final 3 starts, still nobody wanted him. They waived him. Tigers picked him up August 3rd. Yeah, 10 months. Almost like Doyle Alexander with them down the stretch in 87. We'll be talking hockey Saturday night on Digital Dice. So Woody dealt with an arthritic elbow the rest of his career, but he pitched, 7, 8 more years? Pitched to Kubiak. Ted laces this one to right. K-line in the corner will make the catch. Remember, there's about 50 acres of foul territory here at the Coliseum. Woody Fryman, as a batter, 5 for 40 with Detroit, till 83. So he pitched with an arthritic elbow for 11 more years. Wow. Fryman drove in 3 with the Tigers. Holtzman deals. Ground ball to third. Bando has it. Sal throws across the way. And that will retire Fryman. 1 out for Tony Taylor, who singled his first time up. Ken opening 9, 21 pitches, 2 1/3, 2 hits. Taylor and Horton. Tony right back up the box. Holtzman throws to first for the out. 2 away for Billy Freehan, who's 0 for 1. So interesting stuff about Fryman. I wonder what you did to control the pain. I mean, that's not a joint you want arthritis in. Not that you'd want one in any of your joints. But to pitch 11 more years with an elbow that's constantly in pain, my goodness. Pitch to Freehan, who's 0 for 1. Popped up left side. Bando, again, has the entire Ponderosa here to play with. And that goes out of play. Somebody from San Francisco made that catch, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Freehan laces this one up the middle. They'll drop in front of Reggie, and there's a single. So 2 out. Tigers have as many hits here in 2 2/3 as they did off a Catfish Hunter. In game 1, Norm Cash is 0 for 1. But Holtzman, the lefty, has a huge advantage. Struck him out. First for Holtzman. No runs. The Tigers have a hit and leave another runner on. Bottom of the 3rd here in game 2. Oakland 1, Detroit nothing. Speaking of Kenny Holtzman, 178 and 6 RBI on the real year. Base hit left field. Horton will cut it off. Holtzman digging for 2, and Kenny is in there. You know it's not going your way when the pitcher gets a hit. So here's Bert Campaneris. Walked and scored in the first, opening 9 for Fryman. 32 pitches, 2 innings plus, 2 hits and a walk. Don't know if Bernie is still here. If you need any more confirmation that dogs and cats are living together in harmony, the Red Sox and the Yankees made a trade yesterday. Alex Verdugo going down 95 to the Yankees, and the Red Sox getting like 3 or 4 players in return. The Yankees think they're on the verge of getting Juan Soto. Good luck with that. Pitch to Campaneris. In the left center, Northrop rides the swing, coming in, makes the catch. Holtzman goes back to second. Good throw into Rodriguez at third. One out for Bando. Sal singled in the first. Holtzman, I remember him more being a scrub pitcher for the Yankees. Gets away from Freehand, but Holtzman with the jacket on doesn't want to chance it. Bernie says they just dumped Verdugo, and that's pretty much what I read on MLB trade rumors this morning. Trade doesn't help in 24. Pitch to Bando. Ball 4. You think they would actually use him in a trade to get Soto? So Holtzman on second. Bando drew the walk on a 3-1. Fastball low and in. Here's Mike Epstein. Mike is 0 for 1. And there's a high fly ball to right. Back goes Kaline. Al, right by the pens, makes the catch. Holtzman will tag. And again, not going to chance it with 2 out. Especially, Kaline actually made a fantastic grab. Diving stop. And here's Reggie. And a sac fly his first time up. Now driven in 3 on the series. Pitch to Reggie. Ground ball to Brinkman. Eddie has to run around Holtzman. A long throw to Cash. Jackson sprinting. And Reggie beat it out. So the straw that stirs the drink has loaded the bases for Joe Rudy, who's 0 for 1. So Holtzman on third. Bando on second. Reggie on first. 2 out. Fryman trying to get out of this, just down a run. In the right, crowd likes it. So does Kaline. Al makes the catch, and the A's will leave him loaded. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 3, it's the A's 1, the Tigers nothing. So Kaline, Northrup, and Horton to face Holtzman here in the 4th. Bernie says the Yankees need a lot of work. Not sure Soto is the answer. Man, do they want him bad. He is the wish of every Yankee fan's Christmas stocking is to have Juan Soto there. But so do the Red Sox. Yep. John says Woody Fryman learned the perfect soft side-on curve a la John Tudor that alleviated the discomfort. Okay, that's a long time to pitch, though, with an injury that's not going to get better. Finished life with Alzheimer's. Ugh. And died of heart problems in 2011. That's sad to know. Kaline is 0 for 1. Holtzman's pitch. Base hit left center field. Rudy will pick it up, and Kaline holds with a single. So here's Northrup. Lefty versus lefty. Again, Ron, not the best decision you've ever made. Jim Northrup is 0 for 1. Holtzman's pitch. Might be 2 here. Campaneris will wait. Kubiak for 1. Ted throws to Epstein, and it is indeed a 6-4-3 double play. Did they still have the goalpost on the goal line for this series? That would be Blood Bowl baseball, wouldn't it? Actually, didn't the football grid go from third to first? So I think they'd be, in all seriousness, in foul territory. It was not like the other cookie cutters where you would go from center to home. But that might have changed over the course of time in the season, as this place is pretty round. Unless they have to borrow the goalposts. Well, you get in a situation where, every team has home field advantages. Willie Horton, by the way, singled his first time up. Dodgers let the grass grow in the infield so Maury Wills could get on first. Why not? You could impale a defender trying to get a foul ball out there in the 40 acres. Someone had to borrow some goalposts? I bet they got torn down the game before. Pitch to Horton. Willie swings, ground ball to Campaneris. Bird on the grass. over to Epstein. And Horton is not fast, and he's out. So after 3.5, no runs a hit. The Tigers have 4 hits and left on 3. Still 1-0 A's. Game 1 of this best-of-5 series. The last game we do in Oakland. Catfish Hunter 3 hit the Tigers to beat them 7-0. Game 3 tomorrow in Detroit. And however long the series goes, the rest of it will be in Detroit. Tennis is 0 for 1. Fryman starts the 4th. Slow ground ball to Brinkman. Eddie's got it. Over to Cash. For the out. So I got a nice note from Mr. Waterfield, who requested this series. This Tiger offense, though, the A's have 4 starters with an earned run average under 3. And we didn't even get into Darryl Knowles or Raleigh Fingers. And if Holtzman continues to pitch that way, you just might as well put Raleigh and Knowles on the flight to Detroit. Manguala's 0 for 1. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Line drive to third. Rodriguez is there. 2 out. For Kubiak, who's 0 for 1, Woody deals. And there's a slow ground ball to Cash. Norm's got it. Takes it to the bag, and that will retire the side. A's go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Go to the 5th here in Game 2. It's 1-0 Oakland. So Rodriguez, Brinkman, and Fryman here in the 5th to face Holtzman, who's averaging 9 pitches an inning. Talk about pitch to contact. Aurelio is 0 for 1. Holtzman starts the 5th. Line drive, foul right side. Somebody that's not related to Charlie Finley made the catch. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Rodriguez up the middle. Campaneris has it by the bag at second. Over to Epstein for the out. So Eddie Brinkman is 0 for 1. Holtzman just cruising right along here in the 5th. Fly ball, left field. Rudy retreats and will make the catch on the track. 2 out. So Woody Fryman, of course, is going to hit here. He's 0 for 1. Ground ball to Campaneris. Bird has it, throws to first. And we're halfway home on a Wednesday afternoon. It's cold and chilly here in Burlington, about 20 degrees. 1-0 Oakland. If you joined us late, here's the reason why we have a DH in the American League. It's a pretty prototypical late 60s, early 70s baseball game. The only run came in the first, a sac fly by Reggie Jackson to make it 1-0 Oakland. Oakland failed to score on 2 hits and a walk in the 3rd. Woody Fryman, a 3-hitter through 4, just a 1 run and 2 walks. And Kenny Holtzman, a 4-hitter through 5 with a strikeout. So combined, I mean, we did a game where we did the traditional World Series, and it didn't look like it was strikeout central, but when I went to pull up the box score in the 6th, there are 20 strikeouts in the ball game. We've had 1. Holtzman doubled, by the way. He had 4 in real life. And he's going to reach again as Rodriguez can't play that burner down, and Holtzman goes into second. That hit off of Rodriguez's glove so hard that it just bounded into left field. And Kenny's on second. Nobody out for Campaneris, who has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. Woody Fryman, 18 batters, 4+ innings, 66 pitches, 3 hits, and 2 walks. Want to send out our best wishes for recent losses to our dear friends Mark Unger, known as Thespian, on the Digital Dice Discord. Mark Unger, the star of Thespian, shooting its 3rd season, lost a close friend of his. And Steeler fan has had a recent loss in his family, and so, or friends and family, and so our best wishes to them. We haven't seen Steeler fan, and that's probably why. Campaneris, as we said, 0 for 1, walked and scored. So if you know either of those two fine gentlemen, a note of condolence, I'm sure, would go a long way. Pitch to Campy in the left center. Northrup moving over. Will make the catch. Holtzman goes back and is not going to run. So here's Sal Bando. Sal has walked and singled. 1 out. Holtzman on second. A 1-0 game. Oakland hanging on. And they're going to walk. Really? Oh, lefty versus lefty. I get it. So they walk Sal to face Epstein. Now I got 900 first baseman here. Do you pinch hit? Who can hit a lefty? Larry Brown's a tempting choice, but he can't really do much with it besides Bobby Brooks, Ollie Brown, even Matty Alou. We're leaving Epstein in. He led the A's with 26 homers in 72. And he gets hit. So all that, and it backfires. And they are loaded for Reggie Jackson. Reggie has a sac fly and a single. They can put this one out of reach in a hurry. Holtzman on third, Bando on second, Epstein on first. Fryman, deep breath on this cool day in Oakland. It gets away from Freehand and everybody moves up 90. Holtzman will score on the pass ball by Freehand. So it's 2-0. Jackson again now with a 1-ball count. What do you do? And he got Rudy on deck. Reggie laces this one in the center for a single. Bando's going to score. Epstein will hold at third, and the A's are up 3-0. They've outscored the Tigers 10-0 now in the series. Here's Rudy, runners on the corners. Joe is 0 for 2. Reggie now has 2 RBI today. Freehand and Fryman have a word. Woody deals. Struck him out. That's the first strikeout from Fryman. A 2-2 fastball got him looking. Again, with the developing the sidearm curve, Woody struck out a fair amount of batters in Detroit, 113 2/3 and whiffed 72. Again, not today's standards, but it's not all pitch to contact either. Here's tennis. Gene is 0 for 2. 2 out, 3-0 A's in the 5th. That is laced into right field. They'll drop in front of K-Line. Epstein's going to score. Reggie's trying for third. K-Line needs to put some mustard on this throw. Reggie did not get a great jump, by the way. The throw to Rodriguez is going to be close. The tag is not in time. And tennis moves up to second. So here's Mangual. He's 0 for 2. Reggie on third. Tennis on second. 4-0 Oakland now here in the 5th. That will drop in front of Northrop. Reggie's going to score. Tennis will round third. Northrop made the bad play. Remember, the Tigers were trying for offense instead of defense. And it's now 6-0 Oakland. And the Tigers are going to go to the pen. They went with Paranowski and Zachary yesterday. Chuck Seelbach. Will come in. He went 9-8. He started 3 games. Saved 14, a 2.89 ERA, 24 years old. Fastball at 91 and a ground ball pitcher. I'd have thought Hiller was their ace reliever. 112 innings, 96 hits, 6 homers, 39 walks, and 76 strikeouts. And with a day off, as far as the game's concerned, you could use him tomorrow in Detroit. Kubiak is 0 for 2. That's up the middle. Brinkman with a great play. Steps on the bag at second for 1. There is no throw to first. Doesn't matter. That was the inning. However, 5 runs on 3 hits and an error, and they chase Woody Fryman. They're going to get on a plane in about a half hour, maybe with a 2-0 series lead, because they lead this one 6-0. So Holtzman, again, 46 pitches through 5. 18 batters on 46 pitches. That's efficient. 4 hits and a strikeout. Taylor 1 for 2 with a single. Up the middle, Kubiak has it in front of the bag at second. 1 out. Freehan has one of the other 4 hits. 1 for 2. And there is a base hit in the right field. So Freehan allowed a run to score on the pass ball. Mangual couldn't quite get there. Got a bad jump. And Freehan is 2 for 3. Here's Cash. Norm is struck out. He's 0 for 2. In the left, Rudy. 2 out. Freehan back to the bag. And here's Kaline. Al 1 for 6 on the series, 1 for 2 overall today. And he will rip this one into left field for a hit. So the Tigers have got some business done. Freehan skips over to third. Rudy doesn't seem all that concerned. And that'll bring up Northrop. I wonder now if they will pinch hit Stanley. 0 for 2, grounded into a double play. Stays in the game. Fly ball left field. Rudy rides the Schwinn, makes the catch, and the Tigers leave on 2. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Bottom of the 6th coming up here. All Oakland all the time. It's 6-0. So Holtzman, Campaneris, and Bando to face Seelbach here in the 6th. Ken 1 for 2. Reached on an error and doubled. Ground ball to Cash. Norm's got it. 1 out. Here's Campaneris. This would have been the game that Campy threw the bat at John Hiller, right? Or Laren LeGros. Campy 0 for 2. Did have a steal in game 1. Has scored and walked, and not a threat to steal now. And that will be a base hit in the right field. Kaline will throw it back in. And the Tigers just seem out of sorts. Here's Bando. Sal has walked twice, scored, and singled. In the right, Kaline in the right center makes the catch for the out, and Campaneris goes back to first. So Kaline, another leaping catch. This time had to flag that one down. So here's Epstein, who now faces a right-hander. Mike is 0 for 2 with a run scored. Little ground ball down to Taylor. Tony flips it to Cash, and Epstein is out. No runs, a hit, and no errors. We go to the 7th. It's Oakland 6, Detroit nothing. So Horton, Rodriguez, and Brinkman, and then the pitcher spot here in the 7th. Willie 1 for 2 with a single. High fly ball, left center field. Back goes Reggie. He's running a long, long way and makes the catch. Reggie must have run 30 yards to make that play. One out for Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2. That is in the left, right at Joe Rudy, 2 out. The Tigers have had 9 hits now on the series and no runs. Brinkman is 0 for 2. Holtzman winds and deals. To short, Campaneris is there. Throws it to Epstein, and it's stretch time, 6-0 A's. Just as a point of reference, the airport for Oakland is literally almost right across the street here from the Coliseum. In fact, you make your final turn into the general aviation runway right at the stadium. And so the urinals at the airport are now banding together to make sure that Billy Martin, who's the manager of the Tigers, doesn't go to visit them before they get on that flight back to Detroit for Game 3. You would not need to go to San Francisco. You just fly right out of nearby the Coliseum. Reggie 2 for 2, and his single twice, driven in 2 and scored a run. For Martin, of course, this is his first managerial role in the Bigs. And he would get the Tigers to Game 5 of the series. Got a long way to go to do that. The Tigers haven't scored a run. Pitch to Reggie. Struck him out. So Jackson on a full count curveball got him in there at the knees. 1 out. For Joe Rudy, who is 0 for 3. Seelbach, his last inning here. Hitting in 2/3, a hit and a strikeout. Base hit. That's going to be extras. All the way to the 375 sign in left center. Rudy is in the second standing. And the Tigers just seem to be a half step behind. Here's tennis. Gene is 1 for 3. A single, an RBI, and a run scored. Now, again, this was an epic series in real life. And I understand why it was requested. But sometimes the series that you think are going to be great, you never know how it will end, of course, or anything but. Ground ball to first. Cash has it. Norm to the bag. Rudy to third. So I'll ask you guys out there, have you ever played a postseason series you thought was going to be all that in a bag of chips, and it's turns out as flat as left on the counter overnight ginger ale? Engwall 1 for 3. Has 2 RBI, and that came in the 5th with his single. Rudy on third, ground ball right side, past Taylor. Kaline will pick it up. And the A's have matched their 7 they had on the board yesterday. So 2 out for Kubiak. Tad is 0 for 3. That's to Seelbach. He throws to Cash. And that will retire the side. 1 run more for the A's, however. 2 hits. 9 in total. They've left on 7. And after 7, it's the Raiders 7, the Lions nothing. So, pitcher spot, Taylor and Freehan here in the 8th for Detroit. You imagine they'd pinch hit for Chuck here. He did hit 21 times on the real year. But Frank Hondo! .242, a home run and 7 RBI. The capital punisher at the plate. But there's no such thing as a 7-run homer. Pitch to Howard. Line drive to Campaneris, 1 out. So Holtzman, 27 batters, 7 1/3, 73 pitches, 6 hits and a strikeout. Tony Taylor, 1 for 3 with a single. To Epstein, to the bag for the out. Holtzman's just cruising. Bill Freehan and Al Kaline have had multiple hit games. Billy is 2 for 3 today. He is singled twice. And he draws the walk. So here's Cash, 2 out here in the 8th. Norm is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Ground ball to third. Bando goes to Epstein for the shore out at first. And Holtzman is through 8 on 84 pitches. Jim Four will have to face 1 batter. Then we're coming to get him. Not sure what they're thinking here. But we'll give Jim his due. 23 years old. Fastball at 90. A standard pitcher. Out of the pen 7 times. Somehow got a win. An earned run average of 1473. 3 2/3, 6 hits. A home run, 6 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Jamie says when he did a 72 replay, A swept the Tigers. Freehan was hurt, but Duke Sims turned into Babe Ruth and hit several homers. Really doesn't matter what you're throwing out there for a lineup between Catfish Hunter and Ken Holtzman. The Tigers haven't scored a run in 17 innings. And Kenny isn't going anywhere. 1 for 3 with a run scored today. Ground ball foul, third base side. I went with Fryman over Coleman. I don't know. This is a 1-batter special. 2-2 to Holtzman. In the center field, Northrup will make the catch. 1 out for Campy. You got everybody rested. Yeah, might as well go with Laren LeGros. Yesterday they went with Ron Peronowski out of the pen. He did it on 3 pit. Got the side. LeGros. Oh and 1, 2 saves, and under an average of 132. 24 years old, fastball at 85, and a ground ball plus pitcher. Did I do this already? Yes. 27 1/3 for Laren. 22 hits, 6 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Campaneris, Bando to follow. Burt 1 for 3. A walk, a single, and a run scored. Mike from the truck, how are you? Line drive to left that's going to go foul. And a happy camper from San Jose made that catch. Some young lady singer has come up to him and asks if he knows the way to San Jose. And since he lives there, the answer would be yes. 1-2 to Campy. Slow chopper down to Brinkman. Eddie's got it. Throws to Cash. Burt can run, and he beat it out. So Campaneris 2 for 4 today. Here's Bando. Sal 1 for 2. Has walked twice and scored. In the high pop-up, Taylor 2 out. For Mike Epstein, who's 0 for 3 with a run scored. In the 9th, Kaline, Northrop, and Horton for the Tigers against Holtzman. Slow chopper up the middle. Taylor's got it, flips it over to Cash, and that will do it. The A's leave on 1. They get a hit. We go to the 9th, 7-0 Oakland. So Kaline, who is 2 for 3, has singled twice. No runs, 6 hits and error for Detroit. They have left on 6. The A's kind of matching their numbers from game 1. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And they have left on 8. Kaline, a high ground ball to Kubiak by the bag at second, over to first, 1 out. So the Tigers need 7 to tie and 8 to go ahead, and they have 2 outs to do it. Northrop is 0 for 3, grounded into a double play. Mickey Stanley will pinch hit. Mickey didn't cover himself in clover in yesterday's 3-hitter by Catfish Hunter. He went 0 for 3. To third, Bando's got it over to Epstein, and there's 2 out. So Willie Horton, the last chance saloon, and surprisingly enough, with 1 batter maybe left, Ken Holtzman is not only going to throw a shutout here, unless something strange happens in the next minute or two, but he's going to do it throwing under 100 pitches. Willie is 1 for 3. We all got to go in a minute, John, but be safe. Noon tomorrow, Game 3 in Detroit. Horton. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Rudy. And Joe off the wall. So Horton, a 2-out double here in the 9th. And so here's Rodriguez, who's 0 for 3. Holtzman still trying to get that. Wouldn't that be something? We always say, you know, X amount of time, whatever to go ahead. Nope. Ground ball to first. Epstein's there. And the second verse overall is the same as the first. Not only are the Tigers shut out for a second straight day, they lose by the same exact score. Oakland 7, Detroit 1. 2 hours and 31 fake minutes. Kenny Holtzman is your digital dice MVP. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Oakland. They left on 8. Detroit 0-7-1. And they leave on 7. And yet, Holtzman goes the distance on 96 pitches. Fryman threw 4 2/3 through 94. So Holtzman, 7 hits, a walk and a strikeout. And Oakland hasn't given up any runs. The Tigers have been stymied. They've been allowed 10 hits in 2 games. Seelbach, a good 2 1/3 innings of relief. And poor Woody Fryman only allowed 2 earned runs. The error by Rodriguez and the pass ball by Freehan, the critical things. And you see how the rest of it went. So there you go. We'll be with you tomorrow for Game 3 in Detroit. Now, the Tigers have home field. However long the series goes, we're playing in Detroit. For now, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you tomorrow for Game 3. The final here from Oakland, it's the A7, and the Tigers nothing.